Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's been a lot of content today for me, but there's some things that we need to go over so people can kind of catch up to how we got here. As many of you are aware, if you're not new here, we are discussing the Marvon McCray story. He is a 29-year-old Marine veteran who lives in Yuma, Arizona. He is the husband of social media influencer Dre McCray. Marvan is currently in a hospital in Tucson, Arizona after an alleged unaliving attempt. Today marks week 12 that Marvan has been in a coma. Many of you first learned of this story on social media, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. It kind of blew up all over social media platforms. Yet, as we've been going and watching things unfold, we have found that the basis of this story was built off of a lot of misinformation to begin with. If you've been watching, we've been going over and covering a lot of misinformation that has been put out in this case. We've also talked about creators and admins of these Facebook groups that were created to expose Dre McCray, or I guess what they are trying to call seeking justice for Marvon. People have become extremely emotionally invested in this case from the start, yet I think it's important to go back to the start and figure out how we got here and why everybody's emotions were so fired up from the start. Since the social media explosion, there has also been a lot of drama within Marvon's immediate family. We have previously gone over at length the history of Marvon's upbringing, how he was adopted when he was a child, that Letitia Bias is his biologic mother, but his adoptive mother is still alive. We are going to be going over a video from Slay with Dre McCray, her public profile. It is her video from June 29th. Yet I'm going to be playing the version that was streamed in the Justice for Vaughn and Exposing Dre McCray groups by an admin of the group, GIgi. Within the last few days, GIgi, an admin for the Justice for Vaughn and Exposing Dre McCray groups, came live on Molly Golightly's channel and explained her involvement in this story and why she got involved and helped form these groups. Yet I think it's really important to go back to some basic facts before we get into what was done during this live. The initial incident happened May 23rd, 2022. On May 28th, 2022, Drake went live in her supporters group and explained to them that Marvon was in a coma. She did delete the live afterwards. On June 8th, 2022, Dre makes a public post on her page asking for anybody has access to supplemental nutrition for tube feeding. That same evening, Dre did go live and explain the situation. She did not give out personal medical information in the live, but she did explain more in detail what was going on at the time with Marvon. On June 11th, Letitia Bias makes a post on her personal Facebook page saying that she learned via social media her son was in a coma. On June 13th, Letitia Bias follows up and says that all of the family has been blocked by Dre on social media. Dre continued to post on social media. People started asking questions. She was blocking people. People start getting upset, asking what actually happened. How did Marvon end up in a coma? Social media had started to hear rumblings that there was potential issues with Marvon's biologic father and mother being able to visit Marvon. June 22nd through the 28th, Marvon Sr. did drive from Georgia to Arizona to see Marvon. On June 24th, a Facebook group called Exposing Dre McCray popped up on social media. Letitia Bias was a member, along with a group of women who were adminning this group. On June 26th, the GoFundMe is made for Letitia Bias for legal fees and/or travel expenses to travel to Arizona to see Marvon. We do know now that Letitia Bias was in possession of the police report from June 24th on, but didn't announce it publicly until July 6th. Again, this live took place on June 29th. It was streamed in the Justice for Vaughn group by GIgi, one of the admins. You will hear her over talking Dre throughout this entire time as she's streaming her. And as I said, we have heard GIgi just recently talk about why she created this group and got involved in the first place. Yet, you'll hear some of her statements are very different from what she just recently said. Again, sorry for the voices over the voices. This is just how it is, and I think it's important for people to see what was being said by Dre and also the creator of this group who was in contact with Letitia Bias before all of this explosion on social media happened. And again, sorry for the length of this video, but it's important that you see it in its entirety. The entire thing from start to finish. If you want to see the version without GIgi's voiceover, the admin from the group, it's still on Dre's page. But I think it's time people start taking accountability for their actions in this case and start being honest with everyone else. The entire story has been changed to fit a single narrative, and this has been pushed by creators, Facebook groups, pages, family members alike. Again, this live was streamed June 29th, 2022. It is still on her Slay with Dre McCray page.
No makeup look, even though I'm caked on and I got a lot, I enjoy it and I wanted to share that with others. So just because we've received so much love, we started to open up more about our lives. But you can see on past videos, my husband would always be in my videos with me. So me showing my husband now at the hospital in a coma, this is not something brand new that I would have done. I've talked a lot about whenever he would have seizures and different things. So I shared. My point of saying that is that me sharing this part of my life is not something brand new. It's not for views or likes or whatever else that's being claimed. This is what I've always done. I've always shared my personal life because I know it really helps other people, and the response has been amazing. What's sad is that a lot of people tell me that they wish that they would have had my strength because they would not have pulled the plug on their loved ones so quickly, being that they are seeing the way I'm fighting for my husband. That breaks my heart. Can you imagine how many times that has happened where the plug is being pulled and doctors are saying this, that, and the other, but what if they had a chance, So anyways, there's so many benefits to me sharing my life. The biggest thing is that if you just don't want to see that, or if you don't agree with that, then just don't watch. Block yourself if you want, but just stay away from that. But unfortunately, or I don't say unfortunately, sadly, my husband's mother has been using my platform as a way to say disparaging things about me, and her daughter is also jumping on the bandwagon, which is not new. She's always disliked me for no reason. But I feel like now that things are happening now, they're using this as a excuse to dislike me when they've always felt this way about me. Again, I'm going to start sharing the beginning of mine and my husband's marriage regarding my husband's mother. What I don't want is for her to receive any negativity. So if you love me and you support me and you stand with me and you want to continue to be on my side, what you are not going to do is put out any negativity.
Sorry guys.
That's not what I would want. That's not what Vaughn would want. I'm only here to clear up these rumors, and that's it. I don't want her to be attacked. I don't want y'all to do her the way y'all been doing me, okay? And I don't want to say y'all as if the people that are watching, because, other people that have been negative towards me, they're blocked. They can't even comment, so they're just watching mad because they can't comment. So, it's just, but I just don't want those people, the way they've been doing me, I don't want that to be done to her or any of his family. So at the beginning of mine and my husband's marriage, he already had let me just say this. Let me start from the beginning, when Vaughn was a little baby. First, Vaughn, my husband's mother, we'll call her Miss L, okay, Miss L. Miss L had Vaughn, because Vaughn is baby number 2, gave her children and kept them. So Marvan is the only child that she gave up. And it wasn't even her firstborn. So Vaughn's great-grandmother is the person that raised him. And I was talking to her the other day, and I was asking, like, how old was he? Because I've always heard 2 years old, but she says no, that Vaughn's sister was 2 years old and Vaughn was 1 year old. And the reason why she was there was because the mom had to go to prison. She's been to prison for fraud. She has a whole record: fraud, child endangerment, forging checks. She is known to scam people. This is not new. And so she had to go to prison, and she couldn't. Obviously, she has children, so they had to go somewhere. And Vaughn's grandma, and it's her grandma, it's Vaughn's great-grandma, offered to watch the children for her because she didn't want to see them in the system. Eventually, when she got out, she took both the children with her, but Vaughn would act out and do things that normally he wouldn't do, and almost as a way to show he didn't want to be there. He wanted to be back with his great-grandmother. They were moving from house to house. They never had a stable home environment, and they were sleeping on the floor. And Vaughn felt like, I don't need to sleep on the floor. I have a bed at my great-grandma's house. Eventually, Miss L couldn't take caring for Vaughn anymore. So she gave him up. And she gave him up to the great-grandmother. And normally in situations like this, the person will be the legal guardian, right? But no. Vaughn's great-grandmother, which now I'm going to show you the birth certificate. And I do have the original birth certificate where it has the egg donor, Miss L's name. However, that is now null and void. That's not active. It's not something that that's useful anymore because this is the real birth certificate now. So I know it's being called into question, and she's saying that she's raised him all his life, but she hasn't. That's a lie. So let me show you. So here we see Marvon McCray. Here's his name. And the mother, O.C. McCray. And the father, Isaiah McCray. So this is Vaughn's, that is his great-grandmother. Okay? This right here is Vaughn's great-grandmother and great-grandfather. Hold on, give me one. Oh, Yolanda, I know. So, if you see negative comments, please do like the little island emoji and a knife. I would appreciate that, okay? Hold on. Let me block. If you feel like I shouldn't be talking about this, then just please leave the page. I appreciate you not, even being here. So, okay. So that's Vaughn's real mother now. And she knows that. Miss L is aware of that. She knows that. So, hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay. She knows that. Now, there's that. Now, at the beginning of, and she's also taken out bills and things using his Social Security. So it's not something that, again, was new. This is something that she's done, child endangerment, that's a really big deal. And so Vaughn stayed, down the street from his mother. He remembers that for a lot of time that he would want to be picked up and go play with his siblings because he loves his siblings, still currently. He's probably going to have some opinions on their actions towards me, but I know he still has love in his heart for them. So he would rarely get picked up. It often that he would go over to the house. Vaughn remembers feeling that sadness of always waiting to be picked up by his egg donor, but it just wouldn't happen. So that's sad in itself. Whenever Vaughn was 16, he wanted to live with his parents because he didn't. Okay. He didn't. Hold on. I have a screen recording I want to show you because there's gonna be. There's going to be a 2-minute recording because my admin is like finding out, because we've gone live many times. Vaughn has expressed his feelings. This is also why we've been live for about 5 years, and you never have really heard about Vaughn's biological mother ever. Like, he's never really talked about it publicly. He has in supporter lives, which are behind the scenes, you know, you pay to see the extra content. He's gone live many times and has talked about, you know, how his great-grandmother was his real mother and how he regrets even, hold on. Why doesn't it have video? Hold on. Or sound, I'm sorry. This video doesn't have sound. This video doesn't have sound. Okay, well, I'm not going to be able to play the video, but hold on. At least right now. I text her and let her know, and hopefully she will get it to work. But Vaughn has expressed that he's regretted moving in with his mother because of their living conditions and all of that, and how he sees that if he was to be raised by his biological mother and biological father, he would not have been the man that he is today, which is such a loving, caring, kind individual. That's who he is, and I couldn't agree more. The reason why Vaughn is such an amazing man is because he was raised by two incredible people who his great-grandfather has now passed, but his great-grandmother is very much aware with Vaughn. Now, I've been in contact with her. You know, I even posted TikToks. I do have a recording of her basically saying that, you know, what Miss L forgets is that she gave up her son, and that she's the mother. Now, I can't play that because she has asked me not to play any other conversations of her, which is the great-grandmother, because the family's making trouble for them. That's sad. That is sad. This is how toxic Vaughn's, you have to push the sound at the bottom of videos. Oh, thank you for saying that. Okay, let me try that again. Why would you give an elderly lady trouble? She's in an assisted living place. She has all these health
This is
issues.
killing me. Like, this is annoying.
Why are you going to her and causing her trouble because she calls herself mama? She is the mama. And even my husband doesn't call his great-grandmother, hey great-grandmother, he calls her mama. Because that's his mom. That's the mother that has been there for him, raising him all his life. Now, although he moved in with his biological mother for some time, he was never, it's not, I don't see it. This is the video, but I'm turning it up and my sound is on, but I don't see where there's a sound. Yeah, this is different. Can you, Jessica, oh, she does know. Okay. Just stay tuned. Hopefully we'll get that fixed. Or just tell her to find out, like, send me the link to the video and give me the minute mark and then I can just play the video. So, because it's a screen recording, so
these 11,000 views that she has is the most she's ever had. And that's because people thought she was coming with something that we really cared about, and we don't. She's not. She's not telling us anything that we want to know, anything that's valid.
When we got married, the mother never cared for me, which is fine. You don't even know me, you know. It's the biological mother, you know. She never cared, like she never cared about me, and which is fine. I, you know, have your reservations.
Girl, that happens.
But we were already married. And
Get over it. Oh my God, this is annoying. I'm gonna have to walk away. Yes, she gets paid for views. Yep. Views, shares, comments, all of that matters about how much she gets paid.
She needed a loan because she was starting her own tax.
She is very calculated. She knew telling us that she was going to give information would have all of us come over here, and she's banking off of this video.
So she had asked Vaughn if he would be
Right, Mariah?
or the co-signer. Well, the vehicle was in his name. However, the money for it was coming directly from his check.
She's hanging herself.
She was not okay with, but she said that she will not only pay him what he owes for the loan, but she will also give him profit from the taxi cab business, and that he will be vice president of this business. So then, you know, this loan was $490.
Money, girl.
Vaughn didn't even have a vehicle for himself, and the mother never sent him money. When we got married, before we got married, I wouldn't even think he was getting like $1,000 a month, and if he was, it was like barely that. And it was.
This is insane. Like, none of it, like, I'm only posting this for you guys because this is just so annoying. She's a money hungry narcissist.
So, she was supposed to send money, but she didn't. Now, Vaughn didn't even have a vehicle. You know, would have to be in full uniform, going to work in Yuma, Arizona. That's hot as heck. So she was okay with her son spending about $500 a month with this man and wouldn't even give him money. So he was living off of about $500 a month off of just that little bit.
Same. I think a lot of us know that we have broken relationships with family members. Some of us might not talk to our mom, but like, this is crazy.
But when we got married, we were financially struggling. I was
It's called boundaries.
a single mother.
Yes, you create them, but saying goodbye or refusing family to see or visit or pray over their family member is wrong. And it's not just his mom. It is everybody, entire family. She has no explanation for the entire family. None.
You know, my ex-husband, and I was, you know, there, whenever Vaughn met me, I wasn't in a good financial place. And also, he wasn't in a good financial place either, but we got married anyways.
They're probably in the same room.
This is also why you don't see us wearing
She
wedding
loves
rings,
to talk.
because although we did buy each other rings, we couldn't continue to afford the payment. And Vaughn had let his mom know, like, hey, I really do need you to start paying for this taxi cab because me and my wife are struggling financially.
Oh my God, I remember that live.
He wasn't even asking for the profit that she said she would give him. Just that payment.
Can you imagine how much shit she was giving him about his mom owing them money?
He would go months, like, she wouldn't send him anything. And so he's like, Mom, listen, we need to, and really quick, if you keep saying don't explain myself, please leave. I would rather not see.
She's even mad at her supporters.
Explain yourself. You shouldn't too.
Oh my God, she is crazy.
About good vibe stuff. See, I'm just gonna block you. If you feel like I shouldn't be doing this video, I need you to exit. There, I just went ahead
you love her.
Video, but if you leave a comment,
That person she just blocked will be over to our group.
explaining, then you're gonna get blocked.
Don't
As
have
I
to
explained
say
in the
she can
beginning of
stuff.
the video, this is getting really dangerous for me and my children, which is why I'm doing this. And I truly feel like I have Jehovah's support because I prayed about this many times. I've never felt like I should be doing this until right now. And I feel like it's very important. And I agreed in doing this video, which is why I'm doing it. If I didn't,
She agrees to doing this video because
energy only.
it's going to make her supporters feel bad for her, and it's going to bring her more money when this ends. It's also going to bring her more money because she's going live. She has 11,000 viewers. She never has more than 3,000. They're not they're not there in support of her. But she knows what she's doing. She's calculated. She's been doing this for 5 years.
Because he's about to give up his wedding rings. He's not going to be able to pay for his wedding rings anymore. It's going to be financially bad for him. And then also he was telling her,
I
like,
told
in the
her
military,
I
you can't be
can't
having
even.
financial issues. I might say it wrong, but I think you can even get written up or NJP'd, which I don't really remember what that means, but you can get in trouble for financial issues in the military. And he was telling her, please, can you do this, blah, blah, blah. And eventually we had to give up our wedding rings. We couldn't afford it
Oh,
anymore.
fucking
Which is
poor
fine.
you.
You know, what matters is that we have a roof over our head, we got food on the table. Although it hurt because, you know, the rings symbolize something really special between me and him.
I think that's
but,
fine.
you know, we
She's
gotta
very
make do with what we
dangerous.
got. So it was no problem to do that so that we can continue to feed our children. Well, we were still struggling. My oldest daughter was diagnosed with mild cerebral palsy, and it was really hard for us to even buy tennis shoes because she would need a very special shoe to fit her leg brace. And then
The sympathy train.
but she had the mattress.
Oh my gosh. I'm getting...
The mattress was
She's just bringing up stuff that has nothing to do with nothing.
She still slept on a mattress, which is cool and all, but we couldn't even afford to buy her a new bed frame. Now, in the grand scheme of things, at least she's sleeping on a mattress. But I didn't like the fact that, you know, that's $500 that she should have been giving to Vaughn.
You guys, if people are watching her live that are in this group, if somebody can post to come watch the live stream instead of being on her video, that would be good. I don't know if people will see it. Let me go ahead and...
So it got to the point where I just felt like, okay, I can't do this anymore. Hold on. Like, I left my ex-husband, and he wasn't financially supporting us. We struggled. I mean, he had a roof over our head, but everything else was a big struggle.
Oh
And
my
when I
God.
left my first
She said
husband,
he
I
wasn't?
said I would never, ever put me in a situation ever where my children are coming last, where they're not getting at least their basic things and needs because the person
KK, he was sick. She wanted him to get out of the service. When she first began starting, she wanted him to get out of the service. She pushed for him to get out of the service because it's against like her religion. And
where I gave him an ultimatum, and I wouldn't have done that now. I feel like I would have handled the situation much more differently now. But that was me in the past, and you know, I'm not ashamed. Like, I've done stupid things in my past, but that's my past, and that's where it's staying there in the past. I'm not living in my past no more.
God,
But I did give him an ultimatum. I said, I need you to put your foot down with your mom. Like, we need that money. Like, this is our children that we're talking about. And because you're scared,
true. She made him choose.
that we're suffering because of that. Like, that's not okay.
Maybe she was suffering too and couldn't pay you.
You talk to your mom, or I'm out. I'm leaving. I'm never gonna put my.
Yeah, he does have monthly
that
income.
situation where we're struggling.
Can you guys hear me?
He
I'm over here chatting away. I'm sorry. Let me be quiet.
And he's not asking for something that she didn't say she wouldn't have done. You know, she made a commitment to pay him. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with asking for her to just honor her word. That's it. So he felt like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and talk to her. And so then he really put his foot down with his mom. And she would send maybe...
It's okay. She can tell them because they can't do anything about it. They don't know what page we're streaming from. That's the good thing. Okay, thank you, Candy.
It was always a reason, and it wouldn't be like all in one transaction of Vaughn getting the money. It would be over a few times. It was a lot. But it was to the point where we felt like we can't continue to pay for this. We need to refinance the vehicle because this is a really big payment and we need help. So we refinanced the vehicle and then it literally dropped the payment down.
Hey,
Long story short, and this is 7
can you bring me your phone,
months
please, really quick?
Long story short, it was in Vaughn's best interest to repossess the vehicle, just to give it back to the bank, because we could not financially.
Yeah, if anybody can post onto the groups,
we didn't want to do this.
to watch this live stream just because we're just giving her more views by all of us individually watching her, I think. So
This is really, like, what? I shouldn't even have to explain, like, how serious it is that you need to take care of your family responsibilities. So,
she is just digging herself a grave. All she's doing is talking about her. Now she's degrading him. Honestly, like, you had to tell him what to do. I'm irritated. I'm gonna walk away. I'll do that.
I don't remember how it went. I just remember there was a tow truck driver and he took the van over to his great-grandmother's house to put it there. So then, because we weren't even sure that she had insurance for the vehicle either. And Vaughn's name is on that vehicle.
And we're gonna leave this live up so she can read everybody's comments, because she needs to know that none of us are buying her bullshit.
Someone that's gonna go and get the vehicle. Now, Vaughn's stepdad, like, because Miss Elle is married, and she's been married for quite some time. From what they said, which I don't know, I can't speak on it, but
This is disgusting.
from what they said is that he didn't have a job. And,
It's pointless.
he, being the man
I
of the
think
house,
all of us
should
in our
have been
right
taking
mind
care of that family, of them.
are
Now,
on the same
he would
page.
call Vaughn and saying, you don't even know what you're doing. You're taking food away from your brother.
I need to
Like, how can you
message
do that to your mother?
in my message on there, have my Facebook on
And
it.
it wasn't just one or two conversations. It was continuous of making Vaughn feel bad for having to take away the vehicle just because he couldn't financially afford it anymore. And the way that Vaughn was being portrayed and attacked, like, all Vaughn is asking for is for you to honor your commitment. Not even the profit like you said, not even, you know, get as him as the vice president of the company. Like, he's not even asking for anything besides just pay what you owe. That's it. Because we need the money. So they were guilt tripping Vaughn like that, making him feel like a POS and just really bad for you're taking away
The same thing you just said you did. The same thing you just said you did.
That really
Girl.
caused a strain in their relationship together. Well, the tow truck driver got to the house and the tow truck driver said, hey, I just want to let you know.
Yep.
I want to let you know the condition of the vehicle before I pick it up because I don't
You
want
guys
you
see
to
his
think
sister's comment?
that this is something that happened.
Yeah. You tell a bold-faced lie. He wanted that van back because you didn't want my mother to have it. You got mad because he got it for her birthday in 2012. That's a little bit more believable.
What it feels like, because we don't know, but what it seemed like is they must have took a bat to the vehicle because they were so upset because the bat
She's focused on your family, Rochelle, because
whenever it got
that takes away from her needing to tell the truth that all of us really care about. which is not that.
How low and toxic these people are. That's just crazy. So anyways, that was that. That really puts a major strain on their relationship.
We can't call her out on her page. She even has a filter that doesn't allow for you to comment if you just created your page. This was calculated. She calculated this to the full. Huh?
So what must be doing?
Oh, guys! Oh my God! I'm feeling. Wait, it's on here. Hold on. Time out.
His phone died?
Yeah. Why isn't it playing?
Maybe she stopped it?
No. Hold on, guys. Intermission. Wait.
Oh,
No. Hold on.
I know.
Okay, guys, hold on. It's going on.
No, Mel.
You can tell your truth. You can tell your truth. I don't know if you guys want to do a live, but you can do the same thing she's doing. We have lots of people on this page that are on your side. I have no idea what's going on.
And you know
with
what's
this.
crazy? His family, no one.
She blocked me.
I think Nala says you were not connected to the internet.
Oh my gosh. That was not.
Seriously, do that. I just put my Yahoo on there.
Okay, wait. We got this. Hold on. I gotcha. Hold on. Is this? Whose phone is this? Yours?
Oh.
Okay. I think we're back, guys. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Oh, she's reading all of our comments. Is she reading our comments?
No, her admins are probably talking about our life.
Oh, okay. Guys, if you guys have a fake page, and you don't care about being blocked,
I need you to tell me the exact hour and minute that he's speaking so I can play the actual video, period. The screen recordings don't work, period.
I'm sure they don't work. Go to her page and tell her his mom is at the hospital.
What was going on with my
Watch how she freaks out. I wish there was a whole bunch of us that could do that. Sorry, guys. I know I lost a lot of people.
at the VA hospital, and they were feeding him something.
My thing is, it's not even just his mom that she freaks out about. It's anybody in his family.
Yeah.
Let me back up a little bit. I've always encouraged Vaughn to reach out to his family. In fact, you're about to hear me on a screen recording of where I have encouraged him. This is nothing new. I've always said that's still your biological mother. You should still have a relationship with her. Even if she's at a distance, don't. I always felt like he would
Can you guys hear now?
regret if, God forbid, something were to happen to her, he would feel bad. And I don't want him to carry that guilt with him. You know, although she is toxic, she's still the egg donor. So, you know, it's still important to reach out to her.
So let her see him.
Still, after all these years, he wouldn't reach out to her.
That's how
Then
you know she's
finally,
lying, 'cause if that was the case, she would
recently,
have been like
he
a
did.
mercy man.
Because
No,
we
she's
even
not, but I'm
complained about
saying
you
that
guys. Like, Vaughn was
if she
so
was, I mean, if you guys tell her that, she'll freak out.
He felt like this is a two-way street. Why isn't she contacting me either? You know, he's feeling like, you know, I'm not contacting her, but that's the same. Like, she's very capable of reaching out to him. And let me tell you, Vaughn's phone number is the same phone number that he's had prior military. But, you know, his brothers wouldn't reach out, so there's one brother that's claiming that he had to go through me. No, he didn't. Vaughn's number never changed. But he doesn't have any messages of all these years of his brother trying to reach out and, you know, them communicate or whatever. Vaughn, their relationship with his family is very strained. Not with every single person, but it is like really.
Don't be mad.
Very
Do not be
strange.
mad.
And
We are
that's
not
just
believing this.
It's just what it is.
So.
But you know, his family would sometimes
And the
contact
people
me,
watching
like,
her,
through Snapchat, and
more
I
than
don't
half
mind.
of them
You know,
don't
they would
believe
ask
her.
how Vaughn's doing, never asking how I'm doing, never asking how the children are doing. In fact, there's been so many times where his family has tried to tell him, those girls are not your children. Like, Raza's your child. This marriage is temporary. And I believe even his biological father said these things. Like, they're this, they're that. And he's like, no, my marriage is not temporary. We're married. This is a forever thing. But still, that's just how it was. Huh? Okay. It's at 3:06, 3 minutes, 3 hours. Okay.
What's really sad, guys, is that she says that her past should be forgiven because
So
people
just
blasted
claim
her record. She has a record
Just
too
this claim of
with drugs and all of that,
Just
and
the
she said her
claim
past should be
of,
forgiven, but then his family's past shouldn't be forgiven. That's not even fair.
anybody could have reached out to Vaughn. It's just excuses to make me look bad, just because they don't like me.
Yes,
But if you really truly
agreed.
love someone, you would do everything you can to reach out to them, like no matter what. But they're just trying to make me seem like the bad guy, so it fits their.
You're making yourself
Not at all.
be the bad guy. You're posting these videos.
Yeah, no, personally speaking, Rena, I don't think that it's because in 3 minutes and
It's a bright light, and there's like dark energy. She had revelations for you. Even when we went down there the
Exactly.
first time.
Michelle, that's what we want to know. What happened to Vaughn? We don't want to know all of this. This is irrelevant. I don't even know what she's playing.
You let me know when you want to stop, and I'm going to be very respectful.
I don't care.
I know. But I still want to be respectful, okay?
You can be respectful, but at the same time, it's the truth. So it's like, it's the same thing.
I know, but I'm careful about the things that I talk about with you, because I am on social media, not you.
Well, I'm not worried about that. I'm just, the truth is the truth. That's pretty much what it is. So,
Yeah.
if that's what it is, then that's what it is.
How long was your license?
My mom, she literally told me, like, she went.
GIgi loses the live for a minute. It takes her a minute to reboot and come back on a different stream, so we will pick up there in just a minute. And no, this isn't going to be my typical reacting video. I'm posting this whole video in its entirety for a reason. I think it's time that people rewatch this and see what was actually said from the start. I also find it interesting that GIgi's commentary was such on the 29th of June, yet the other night she totally said something different. You can hear the resentment in her voice towards Dre throughout this video. I would love to know why women from Facebook thought it was appropriate to reach out to his biologic family and get in contact with them and create a group to expose the daughter-in-law. And whose idea was it to create the groups to expose Dre? I would love to know that fact also. Let's continue.
Or even older people, we always want the love of our parents. And that's what you wanted growing up, but they didn't understand after everything she's done to you. Because it's not even about me. I feel like... Okay, so see, Vaughn, although he laughs, that's a nervous laugh. I've encouraged him to reach out. This was a video in my supporter subscription, because I've been live countless hours in behind the scenes subscription, okay? Hold on. 3 minutes, 21 seconds. Okay, let me play another part of the recording.
What happens or anything like that, they feel like,
Baby, at this point, yeah. Yeah, baby.
you can go pee.
I know, but I'm gonna have to need you to move aside because I'm really gonna be. Listen, when I gotta go, I gotta go. Okay, just take a full nap. says 3 hours 21 and nothing's happening.
Hey, since she's gone, I guess I'll talk to you. So with all of this stuff that's happening, it comes down to my family and everything like that. Most part about it is just the fact that I didn't really know what was going on. So I did what I had to do in order to make myself feel better. But it was the wrong decision
About living.
when it comes down to it. Hey, Rosie.
About living with his mom. That's what he's talking about. It was the wrong decision.
Tracy, how you doing? I love you too.
Irrelevant.
What?
And Sherry? Yeah.
Is that it?
But yeah, mainly the whole decision of me moving back with my, I guess my mother or anything like that, it was not the right decision. Like, I should have stayed with my grandparents. So, if anything, that should have been my thing.
Yeah. I'm gonna rewind it real quick. Because he's talking, I guess my mother.
He said let it play.
Okay, I'm gonna continue.
I guess my mother or anything like that, it was not the right decision. Like, I should have stayed with my grandparents. So, if anything, that should have been my thing.
Yeah. Good job, boo. I'm proud of you.
Oh my
Hey,
goodness.
Sharice. Chrissy.
I really like, from far away, I feel like I would keep. Okay. Are we done? We are. Wait, did you paint the pink toe? Yeah, I just don't really have a pink toe now. Oh gosh, I really don't have a pink toe now. Holy crap, Rosa is your twin. Oh, don't forget her with your family. We'll have lots of love for you. Are you talking about, is she talking about your mom? Is she talking about your mom? I don't think you should forget her though. I think even though she's toxic, I think it's good that you separated yourself from the toxicity. I still think it's really important that you at least keep in contact with her.
We don't know what you say behind the camera, so don't try to give yourself points saying that on camera.
And he told me that the next time that I called them, they'd give me her number so that way I can call her.
That's important. Because I feel like they only, and I posted something like this recently. Okay, girl, I'm going to take a shot, okay? I'm going to take a shot. Let's take a shot. He's a drink. I posted something recently that said something about the only people that have a problem with you putting up your boundaries.
Tammy, if you have that video, send it to one of the admins here.
And she benefited with you not having boundaries.
It's very scripted. This is very calculated. I'm sure her and her admin had a meeting to put all this together.
Some of your siblings, because they are manipulated by her, look at me a certain way because of her opinion. They might love you. They love you. But because I feel like you're opening up your eyes to the toxicity, they look at me as someone who's trying to come in and ruin your relationship with her when I'm trying to protect you.
Yeah. But the first thing she told me when she
What
first saw you was that
happened
she
to
had
Ron,
reservations.
Dre? Tell us what happened.
Yeah,
No, don't even tell us. Don't even tell us. Tell his family.
Living in that apartment, she told me that she was like, I have reservations for your wife just because, like, I don't
She really was pretty
know
awesome.
her, and I think that she's going to use you and everything else. And it's like,
Any mother would
I'm not really sure.
be worried.
Right or
We don't even
wrong,
know.
But I married this woman, and that's who I'm going to be with. And that's what I told her. And she was like, okay, but I still have reservations for her. And I'm like, okay, you can have reservations for her as long as you want. But just letting you know, I love this woman.
Anybody that met somebody at a club, like a mom, anybody that son came to them and said, oh, we met at a club, and like it's months later and we're getting married, would be concerned and say something. If you're a mom that wouldn't be, then something's wrong. She needs to pump her brakes.
So let's fast forward.
And had 2 kids already. Like, I'm not judging anything, but anybody would be concerned and have questions.
She sent me a message that she wants to talk to me, and I said, sure, after I leave the hospital, we will. She wanted to come see Vaughn, and I was okay with it. Now, let's play that video. Hey, how you Let's go to the room. Let's go to the room. I didn't mind that she was gonna come and see Vaughn. I didn't, because that's still the biological mother. Okay, y'all heard the way he feels about her.
Take your advice.
But that's only a little bit. He feels so much more towards her, and he is carrying trauma from his childhood, from her. This is not new. This is, if I make a decision, there's probably a good reason why I wouldn't want, which at first I was okay with her going to the hospital. But then when
you've spent so much time explaining this to us, explain to us
absolutely not. My only concern
the
is
things that are important, not this.
That's not how I see things. He's healing. That's business. That's what he's doing. But to cause she's always been negative towards him. So to bring that negativity to the hospital, I wasn't going to allow that. Absolutely not. Because of the way they feel about me, the way they feel about our marriage, all of that is going into the hospital room with him. He would not have wanted that. So when I make a decision, it's probably for a very, very good reason. His mom has my phone number. At any point, she could send me messages, update. She can, ask me how he's doing. But she doesn't. She has my phone number. She's contacted me before. So why isn't she asking for daily updates? If she wants to have information, she can message me. I would message back. I would tell her information should she ask for it. But putting everything online, acting like she's trying to contact me, no.
This video that she's sharing is old. If anybody in her subscribers can find it and post when it was, then we can pinpoint what was going on at the time, I guess, because it's definitely not anytime soon.
I just got really one good question, because I know you don't really his condition.
She's like, because I know you don't really. No, she had to stop herself. She was gonna say, I know you don't really like me. I don't have any ill will towards her or any negative feelings. I don't feel anything. It's just. I don't hold onto negativity. Like, whatever, that's Vaughn and his biological mother. That's their issue. That's not mine. That's their issue. But let me show you. I just want to prove that I was okay with her coming. But you're not going to hear that.
Rochelle, this is what she is trying to do. Don't. This video is probably old. And she probably made him do it, to be honest with you.
Okay,
exactly. She's very
I'm
into it.
I'm a drive because I don't want to fly. Because I never flew before. So I'm a drive. I heard on the video that you posted, that you sent me, that y'all in Tucson? Yeah,
She's telling her, okay. She's
like, what hospital is that? And I can let you know once I get there, because you probably going to have to be the one to take me back there. I don't know if it's okay. Once I get there, I can let you know I'm there, and you can tell me how to get in, or do I just go to the desk, but I might just get permission from you.
It's a little bit complicated because it's a really, really big hospital. He's at the VA hospital, and it's not a normal hospital. Like it's almost like a village. Like there's tons. You know how normally when you go on base you have to go through security. Well, it's somewhat similar, but not. But it's super big. Like I would definitely want to show you how to get there. Yeah, just so that you're not lost or anything. Because for the first, okay, so it goes on and on and on. We had a good conversation.
And then you got off and you sent her text. We seen it.
Towards her.
She said the same thing.
I don't feel anything towards her. I see that she apparently is lying and really making things seem bad between me and her, but it's not. I don't care. I don't care. If you, and I seen someone's comment, I don't care what terms we are on. Like, if my kid's in the hospital,
look how much people are not interested. She was at like 13,000. She's at like 9 now. That's why I said.
To the hospital, and I thought it was his biological mother. And oh, and let me just read to you the message. Hold on. Because, you know, it's really like that. All of a sudden, she wants to be Mother of the Year award, acting like she's always been there for him, and she hasn't.
She never said that. She's never portrayed that. She's actually told us the truth. The truth that you think you're telling us for the first time, his mom has already told us.
At this time, we are in a critical stage of his healing, and for the sake of his recovery, it is best that I remain his only visitor
She's so
for
full
the
of
time
shit.
being. Even his children haven't visited. With COVID still in play and his white blood cell count being elevated, it is best to limit the amount of people to which he comes in contact with. So regardless of this, you know, everything I had said, because he had C. diff, he was getting infections.
This
he had
this
pneumonia,
video,
he had MRSA.
this update
Like,
is
there
not
were
even
a lot
anything
of
about
things that
Vaughn,
were
and it's
happening.
really
Like,
sad
there
that
were-
she makes
it was
everything
not
about
good.
her.
And
I
so-
promise that she's
and
gonna plug
COVID,
her
I had to
subscribers
wear
group.
this big old helmet. He was going through a lot. So it wasn't
This is all about
in a
money for
negative
her.
way. It was just to protect him, and in a positive way, which I will always protect my
Protect him
husband
from
and do the things
what?
that I know
Because
he would
when you
want.
talked to her, you said you had a good conversation. So what are you protecting him from?
The relationship. You know,
Sorry
trying
guys,
to,
I can't really
you know,
keep up with the comments.
Help
but-
them with if she wants to have a relationship with Vaughn, which he wanted, he reached out to her recently, and they had a great conversation. And he was so happy, and I was happy for him. Like, that was really good that they reached. It was good.
God.
It was really good. He was so happy. Then a couple weeks later, he reached out, "Hey, Mom, just want to let you know that I love you." And her response was, "Love you more." But she, again, never reached out. And when they talked that one time recently, you know, it's always a guilt trip. Like, why haven't you contacted me? Why haven't you this? Hold on, my friend Chrissy's leaving. Give me a second. Oh, I love you so, love you too. I love you, Brian, too.
If you guys have videos or any information, you can find the admins in the top of this page. Send it to us, because we're not giving up. Like, this video was bullshit. She got us here to get her views up, and she's not telling us anything that she wants to hear, and we demand justice for Vaughn.
So that's good.
Sad that she has the time to talk about his family and degrade even him and his family, but she doesn't have time to tell his family what happened.
In his past, in his history, she's always preyed on him at his most vulnerable. So I don't trust her in the room with him, which I was okay with her coming. But after all the negativity that I seen was going on his side of the family towards me, you know, calling me names and all this nasty stuff, I just didn't want that in the room with him. Look at the way he feels about me. Look at the way Vaughn loves me. He wouldn't want that in the hospital room, especially if it affected me. And y'all will see.
Wow.
Eventually, down the road, down the line, which whenever Vaughn wakes up, I'm not going to bring all this negativity to him. He's healing. He is in a coma right now. You know, he has a brain injury right now. So
We know that, do you?
I'm not going to tell him all this negativity as soon as he wakes up. Absolutely not, because I'm protecting him. And I'm going to make sure that he is only concentrated on his healing, and that's it, nothing more. It's just, no, I'm not going to bring this to him right away. But
the CPS number is in the group chat. So is reporting adult abuse in the group chat. And what we mean by that is like her putting spit on him, her, all the, just making sure that Vaughn is okay and her kids are okay. And if you can't find it, you can message any of the admins.
Bringing harm to us. So that's that. Now, there's been hate groups and all kinds of things that
we're not hate groups, we're an awareness group.
I got high or whatever else. Listen, I used to do a lot of really bad things in my past.
Forgive you, but don't forget the family. Forgive you, but don't forgive the family.
I used to
She's such a narcissist, bro.
I used to run around with, maybe not running around, but
she's digging herself a hole, and I think making this video has even brought more people to see the light.
I know that's not good or healthy, but
I know that ain't me.
Like I've always have. And I'm not acting holier than thou. I'm just showing you guys who I am each and every single day, and that's it. So to act like, I don't have a past, nobody ever said that. People are just trying to dig up things from my past, which are just like, okay, and what?
Correction.
Like,
people are showing you what your past looks like, since you want to put his family's past, especially his mom's past out there like she's a bad person. That's why.
The person who's trying to, how does the Bible say, pull the rafter out of your own eye before you take that little square out of somebody else's?
Oh Lord, no, she's not.
Being a
don't nobody want to listen to the word from you, girl. I cannot.
Trying to reach out to CPS to get my children taken away from me. I've already talked to the girls' biological father. Well, I left him a voicemail, and then I talked to his wife, and she cannot believe the way people are.
Give us her Facebook so we can tag her.
Shocked. She told me, if you need anyone to speak on your parenting, call me. Because I have never seen, or I know very little people.
She probably don't know half the shit you're doing. So tag her in our group so she can come see the truth.
She has ever met. And the way that my children are speaks towards our parents.
That's what you preach.
So,
Amen.
I'm letting everybody know. I'm letting my family and friends, listen, this is what's going on. This is what people are trying to do. My sister, my sister who's pregnant right now with their second baby, was contacted with all these lies, making up rumors as if I did something to my husband and put him in the hospital. What?
She's lying.
This is crazy. Just because I don't divulge.
She is lying. Show us proof, Dre, that someone formed lies, so we can know who they are, so we can get them out of the group, because our group is just posting the information you give us. Yeah.
I get calls every day from random numbers. I get text
she is
messages
such a
from
liar.
people telling me to kill myself. This is
Maybe,
really bad.
but not from
I
him.
get
I think she's lying.
A picture of my mom's house is put on the internet. It's just crazy how people say like I'm a danger to my children. No. You putting my personal information out there like that is putting my children in danger. So then, people are saying they're going to contact, the VA police.
No,
so
not that we're going to, that we have.
I contacted the VA police because, number one, he's not even there, so they're not going to do anything. But I know the VA police.
So that's number one, that he's not there and they're not going to do anything. Not that you didn't do anything.
Did show up to the hospital, but I thought it was his biological mom. So I was like, call security, they can't be here, da-da-da-da-da. Let me tell you, if anyone has a chance of reconciling or keeping that relationship, it's Vaughn's dad. Because he did not care that I was like, no visitors. Vaughn's dad showed up to the hospital because he wanted to make sure his son was okay. So if that's what, I don't have no restraining order against his biological mother.
Yeah, no, Marissa, I know. That's why I said she's full of crap and to show us, because someone, when they contacted her sister, we said, look at the information that we've gathered. That's it.
You know what I'm saying? But Dad did show up, and
nobody's harassing her.
Now,
Nobody's
Vaughn would
threatening
see him,
her.
His vital signs would just, his heart rate would skyrocket. I would see dried tears coming out of his eyes, which showed, and they would dry with a white film, which shows that he was stressed. But there would be times when his dad would be in the room and his heart rate would not go down. They would have to give him medication after medication, Ativan, propanolol, which is to drop the blood pressure, heart
Girl,
rate.
we all watched the video with his dad. He even said, this crazy girl, like, don't act like he's on your side, because I'm sure he is not.
I don't even have anything bad
She's
to say
such a liar.
But the stepmom, oh, she's straight up wicked. You know, trying to act like you need to call the police and get a police report. Listen, if Vaughn's been to 2 different hospitals, now 3. If
wow, 3 hospitals for what? You know why? Because she's fighting all the doctors.
Brain injury, then they would have handled their own investigation.
She doesn't have proof of that.
The police already know.
That's what I'm saying. She doesn't.
New. Again, just because I don't give certain information doesn't equate to something else or negative happening.
We all watched the video with the dad, and he definitely kept mentioning that she's crazy.
Oh. Okay. Tell them to give me 10 minutes. Give me 15 minutes. Say, come back in 15 minutes, yeah. Don't open the door, though.
Maybe it's CPS.
But
Let's all pray.
Showed up, and that means something. You know, because he didn't, like...
Did anybody hear who it was
he
at the door?
His
I hope it was
relationship
CPS.
on Vaughn, because it was like, no matter what, he was going to show up, which I don't feel like was okay. But he showed up regardless, and it is what it is. I didn't try to fight it. It was just, okay,
Well,
fine.
I wouldn't believe
We would
nothing
make
she
sure
says.
that if the dad was in the room, I stayed out. Whenever I went in, the dad was out. Like, it was cordial. It was cool. Now there was
Oh
one
my
time
gosh,
when
it was
his dad
cordial?
did approach me and walk up to me. And
Girl,
his dad
she is
has
delusional.
a very long arrest record, prison record. It's very, very long. But his dad approached me.
What
and
does that
said,
have to do with
something about,
anything?
"Hey, I just, you know, like I just want to talk to you about whatever. And I
Someone's
said,
at the
okay.
door, y'all.
Well, listen.
CPS
if you
or
want to
cops.
talk,
Let's
you know,
pray
maybe
on
we should
it.
have someone else in the room, like a social worker. A social worker did want us to sit down in a
More
room
than
together.
2,
So
y'all.
that
In
would
here,
be
let's
perfect,
pray on
you know.
it.
Just because all the lies and the rumors that are being out,
I'm so
I didn't
sorry.
want just nobody else to hear what was going to happen. I needed a witness, right?
Yeah.
So then I told him, I'm more comfortable if someone else is here. So then this is what he says, because
I
I
have to
didn't
rewind
record the
it.
very beginning of the conversation, but here's this.
I just want to know what I did wrong to my son. I never did nothing wrong but love my son. I knew I would have been like that long time in and out of prison.
Okay. So there's like, so he says, I never did nothing wrong with his son,
And he's been out of prison.
Although I
That's
haven't been
okay.
in his life because I've been in and out of prison. So then this is my response.
Oh, that's happy the police.
Because of so much drama that's been happening. Someone else is here. So then this is what he says, because
I
I
have to
didn't
rewind
record the
it.
very beginning of the conversation, but here's this.
I just want to know what I did wrong to my son. I never did nothing wrong but love my son. I knew I would have been like that long time in and out of prison.
Okay. So there's like, so he says, I never did nothing wrong with his son,
And he's been out of prison.
Although I
That's
haven't been
okay.
in his life because I've been in and out of prison. So then this is my response.
Oh, that's happy the police.
Because of so much drama that's been happening, if you want to talk, like I said,
She's
I don't
freaking
mind, but I would
delusional.
rather have someone like here so that.
Thank you for your time anyway.
Of course, take care. So we had a very short conversation, and it was.
I'm
very
sorry,
short
guys. I'm so
conversation.
sorry. I'm gonna shut up.
And I said, I don't mind. I would just be more comfortable if somebody else was here in the house or here, you know, speaking with us. So then, you know, because they're saying that the VA police is going to be contacted, I contacted my connect in the VA police. And let me tell you what they said. Let me go quiet my guys.
suicide prayer.
Okay, so I contacted the VA police, and this is what they said.
A lot, and I
was
kind
just
of need a little bit of guidance as to what my next move should be, or how I can protect myself from, the
Blood ain't nothing
the
if they
garbage
toxic,
that
okay?
they're throwing on me and my family.
Okay, so let me reiterate some things to see if I understand. You're just looking for guidance as to your social media platforms are being what's called doxxed, or you're being harassed over that internet type thing because you believe your family members or other family members on your husband's side are just really just trying to be a pain to you, and it's creating stress and aggravation. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this it's a sketchy situation. I'll tell you there's twofold. Number one, it is definitely something that's in the civilian realm. You're allowed to sue for doxing, and that's the word you would use is DOXIE or DOXING, doxing. And basically what that is when someone trolls you and takes advantage of the platforms that you utilize to try and defame you. That is a civil action. You can bring lawsuit in any court of justice where you live, or federally if you'd like, because the guidelines for the internet are federally transpired from the FCC.
Ooh, okay.
Okay? That's your main use, and that is clear and convincing, or 51%. So it's the easiest to win in a court of law, and it's usually monetary only.
Oh,
Now, if you can show a defamation scam, something where they're actually putting you and your children in jeopardy by utilizing false information, and you can get IP addresses or assistance in needing to find that, that is, again, FBI, because you would call local state,
This is public information. This live is public. Nobody's doxing her, so good luck with that.
Where your internet would be utilized from. And what I mean by that is, if you have a platform that's utilized by your phone, then it's where you are at the present time, federally located, would be you're here in Tucson.
She probably didn't tell them that this phone call was recorded.
Your family's here in Tucson, and as far as we've had our brief conversations, I understand you to be here. That is where you would call the local agency in Tucson. For you would be the FBI, because they handle FCC complaints. What they would do if they are willing to take the case and assign for doxing, they would then look and locate the IP address of the person who is doing the most detrimental doxing.
Good thing we have this. Maybe we can screen record and send it to them.
Again, that is a federal issue. Now, we are federal officers here. However, our jurisdiction is based on the Department of Veteran Affairs, and this would not fall under the Veteran Affairs platform at this time for what you're saying to me. But I hope I was able to give you some ways of going.
Okay, so that's basically.
She needed that 5 extra minutes to try to scare people.
That's just what's going on. You don't. At any point, if anyone were to contact me and ask me how Vaughn's doing, then we would have a conversation. We
Girl,
would talk.
that's
His
all
family
we
doesn't
keep
reach
asking
out.
you.
Not all of his family, like I said, because some of his family is cool. And I am in communication with them because they care about me and Vaughn's children. And so it's crazy. Now, Vaughn is no longer at the VA hospital because they said there is nothing else that they can do for him. They said because he's still in this hospital, he keeps getting sick, he needs to be somewhere else where it's safer. So him being transferred somewhere else, that was not on me. That was on them. They had told me about this within the first week because they were wanting me to pull the plug on my husband, and I wasn't going to do that. So they said, okay, well then you need to find a different place for him, blah, blah, blah. So he's somewhere else. His dad had a whole week
of being able to see him. So, you know, his mom could have came at any time.
Rochelle, we should call her on
The
live
biological dad was here.
so you can
But she
ask
didn't
him
come. She just
how
makes it
he's
seem
doing.
like I'm just
So she
this
can
horrible person and restricting
show
and whatever else.
herself
Listen,
that she's a liar.
She restricted herself from her son all his life. He ain't gone. He's here. It needs to heal. That's it. At any point, she could have messaged, but she hasn't. She doesn't. No, none of this family, besides the couple people, they don't reach out. So it's just for show. There is a false love. Just kind of how, you know, whenever people do die, then all of a sudden everybody wants to gather around acting like they've always cared about that person. No, man. You know, Vaughn, he's been sick many times. He's been in the hospital many times. He's had a brain injury. Like, they could have been there at any of the times. But now that he's at a vulnerable place, then that's different. Hold on, give me a second. That's different. So, no, I will always stand by the decisions I make because I pray about it before. And I want to make sure that I'm doing what's in the best interest of my husband. So no matter what, I know that what I'm doing is in the best interest of him. My children are happy, they're safe. You can tell because of how they are. Like, you can hear them, you know, supporters can see them. I am a great mother. And even, you know, I have the support of their biological father, who, although we have never had a great relationship, he stands by me and the way I parent my children.
Girl, you just said you left him a voicemail. You didn't even talk to
him.
him. So how does he stand by you?
I might go live again to just kind of show you
I'm
this place and
confused. Does she
give
even
the-
listen to herself?
give the address because it's really, really nice. But if they want to be in Swan's life, I think that's amazing. This is not the time to act like you care now. Like, just let him get healthy first and then do that. They're just forcing themselves, and all this negativity, I'm gonna tell you right now, because I know my husband, this is going to strain their relationship because they are hurting me and my children. That's what they're doing. And the fact that they condone all this behavior of people doing this, like, they're digging their own grave, and Vaughn is gonna let them lay in it. That's really what it is. So it's really sad that I even had to bring all this up and say this, but it is becoming a danger to me and my children.
Somebody said Jehovah don't want you claiming him no more. You guys are stupid.
That's in my past. And it's not like I would put my children
She
in harm's
didn't
way.
address
I've done
anything
really stupid things,
that
but
we give a
that's
crap
long
about,
time ago.
period.
So why
It was all
coming
about
out now,
her.
people are just looking to, break me down. Like, people are saying that my children, I guess it was screen recorded, my daughter or whoever, my children take ginger root. Like, if they have a headache or whatever, they take ginger or stomach ache. Literally within seconds, it goes away. It's amazing. So my children are very well taken care of. We are established with a doctor here, and they know very well of all the nasty stuff that's happening on social media. Like, so it's a lot of negativity going on. But it's just, I have a clean conscience. They don't.
From what I understand, in one of her lives, she said that when Vaughn comes out of the coma, he's going to get baptized. So I don't even know if he is baptized from what she said.
Too much negativity that they were bringing our way. But anyways,
which speaks
in
volumes.
any future videos, we're not going to be talking about this. I'm not going to be defending
Girl, you
myself
gonna keep
again,
talking
because
about
now
this.
I'm
This
taking
is
this
giving
to
you
the
attention.
FBI, where they can
Girl!
get addresses.
Bye.
I will be pressing charges to
Great,
whoever,
because that means that they will look into you.
dangerous
That's
situation
absolutely
for me and
great.
my children.
Because
If
that
you
means they will
really
look
cared
into
about my
you. So
children,
please call the
you wouldn't do
FBI.
those things. But it's all for attention for them, So any little breakdown that people are trying to nitpick me and how I am, like, it's just not going to work. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. And because I do have a clean conscience, and I do things that are beneficial for my family, we're going to always be okay. All the rumors, and I'm sure that there will be lots of stuff that, people are saying or whatever, we are A-okay over here. People just don't like to see other people happy. They don't like to see other people in high spirits because it irritates their demons. So we're good. This is gonna stay in this video, so y'all can rewatch this video. But don't bring it up on my other videos. I'm not going to either. We're gonna live a happy, merry life, and that is that. Now I gotta go. I gotta leave this Airbnb, and I gotta take care of my baby daddy, who's doing amazing. He's progressing. It's only a matter of time until he wakes up. So we blessed over here. Blessed. Her.
Again, that live was streamed on June 29th, 2022 on her Slay with Dre McCray public page. If you want to see it without GIgi's voiceovers, feel free to go watch it on her live. This version is from the Justice for Vaughn Facebook group, which GIgi streamed in that Facebook group. I'm not asking you to change your opinion on Dre or the admins. I'm asking you to look at the facts. Did you see this live in its entirety? Have you only seen clips of this live? Now watching it in its entirety, is your opinion different? Would these things have been alarming to you if you would have known them from the start? And again, I am not bashing the family. I'm just replaying the content that I think is important for people to see. Thank you all for watching. If you made it this far, again, I appreciate you guys so much. Tell me what you think in the comments. If you haven't seen this before, tell me what you think now. Have a great day.